say you are listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Here I come, here I come, here I am, here I am. You're listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. As we say each and every night, Monday through Friday, we have no idea where our world is. We just live here. We have no specific mailing address. We do have an email address, georgece@comcast.net, georgece@comcast.net, and we want you to continue to send us your emails. We don't have a mailbox, but we have that email address, and that's fine with us. We just live here. We don't know where it's at. We just live here. And I welcome you to the Tuesday night show. It's good. It's good to be here. I do want to say to our listeners that listened to the show last night, and to you that may come later and listen to it because it's all archived. Again, we apologize that our guest did not show up. And we kind of had to fly by the seat of our pants last night. And we've done that before, but I'm afraid that last night we didn't do too well. So I apologize for that, but we're going to get better tonight. Trust me. We're going to bring our guest on in just a second. But first, come into the chat room. If you have anything you want to find out, excuse me, come into the chat room and bring your questions with you. We're going to have a young lady that is here, that's going to be here, that is the development director at the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Excuse me. And I hope that we can all find out, perhaps for the first time, exactly what these folks do. And perhaps we can help those that are less fortunate than us. So take some time out of your busy schedule and think about those that have needs, that are suffering ailments, and let's get behind them and let's do something, not only during this holiday season, but every day of the year. We are going to bring Nathalie Sloan on with us just about now. Good evening and welcome to the George Espinlove Show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a privilege. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I have been doing nonprofit fundraising for about 15 years. I started with a foundation that actually gave grants out, the Health Foundation of South Florida. And I have been with the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation for almost 3 years. So I actually have a degree in interior design, which people always think I'm crazy when I tell them that. But I have been doing this for so long that I feel like it's been my one and only thing. So I really love it. I really enjoy what I do.
So you are a what's the word here? A development director.
Correct. Right.
So what does a development director do?
Well, a development director's job is to raise money for the organization, but anybody out there that has worked with a nonprofit knows that a nonprofit doesn't have enough money to have one person doing one job. So in my position, my job is first and foremost to raise money for the organization through corporate and private donations. And then it's also public relations and marketing and anything that has to do with getting the word out there about the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation and what we do. So that entails my meeting people face-to-face, writing a newsletter, doing press releases, working with our PR agency, having events. It really runs the gamut.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because trust me, I can get things mixed up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Ask my wife of 45 years; she'll tell you.
All right.
But anyhow, the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, is that hooked up with? Is that like Jerry's kids? Or are they hooked up or?
No. Jerry raises money for muscular dystrophy.
Muscular dystrophy. I told you I could get it mixed up. See.
It's a different disease, and it's funny because today I had a conversation with some lady for about 15 minutes, and she told me how amazing Jerry Lewis was, and I didn't have the heart to correct her because she was so impassioned by it. But no, we're two different organizations.
See, I told you. You. But I'm not the least bit embarrassed. I do that I do all that all the time.
Yeah.
So you what's the main goal of the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation?
Well, our goal is to raise money for people that have multiple sclerosis and help them with their day-to-day lives. So we raise money for wheelchairs, home care, respite care. We have free yoga programs. We help people with their electrical bills if they can't pay them. So our main goal is to give people the best life that they can have day to day, regardless of the fact that they may have multiple sclerosis.
I know you're not a medical doctor, excuse me, or a specialist, but what is this multiple sclerosis? Can you explain that?
Sure. Multiple sclerosis is an inflammatory disease that actually attacks the myelin sheath, or the covering that coats your nerves throughout your body. So that when you have MS, you can get little tears or ulcers or separations, if you will, in that myelin sheath anywhere in your body, which is why MS is such a crazy disease. Nobody has the same symptoms. We don't know. We don't think it's hereditary. They haven't found a gene for it. And even the MS drugs affect people differently. But the crazy thing about it is that 1 minute somebody can have no symptoms, and the next morning they can wake up and half their body can be paralyzed, and the next day they're fine, or they've lost their eyesight and then they're fine. So it affects your balance, it affects people's cognitive abilities, it affects people's eyesight, but no two people have the same symptoms.
So you can have excuse me, you can have some kind of symptom like you said, you could be paralyzed, and then perhaps the next day it's not there.
It happens to people that will lose their eyesight for a matter of days, and then they get it back. Unfortunately, when it happens or recurs too many times, it becomes then a symptom of MS. So if someone hasn't had a symptom for 30 years, let's say, which is very likely to happen, and all of a sudden they start having very small symptoms, they come and go, eventually those symptoms will stick, if you will, and then they get progressively worse. So that kind of MS is called remitting regressive MS, which means that you have it 1 minute, you don't have it the next minute, you regress, you go back, you go forward. But usually what happens is that once people start to get a steady stream of symptoms, it's kind of a downward spiral.
How does it usually, I hate to ask you this, but how does it usually end up?
Well, it usually ends up, with people really being bound to a wheelchair or bedridden, because you lose the use of your nerves throughout your entire body. So most people will end up, where someone has to feed them or clothe them or do everything for them because they lose their hands, or they lose their legs, they lose feeling in their fingers. So the worst case scenario is that People don't usually die from multiple sclerosis, but they die from the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. Their bodies begin to shut down a little bit at a time. We, however, have found that one of the most successful programs we have is something like yoga. That some, people that have MS, even if they're already in a wheelchair, if they are active and they do it with someone that knows about MS, can kind of stave off their symptoms for a long time. But, everybody is different. But like I said, you can have MS and not have a symptom for 30 years. And hopefully the drugs are getting better and the research is moving forward and they'll be able to cure it or at least find a way to hold it off.
Do they know where this comes from?
No, they have no idea. They're toying with environment. One of the biggest sectors of people that have MS are white women in their 40s. I think it's something like 80% of people with MS are white women in their 40s. One of the reasons that happens is that stress is a factor, and that group of women, that portion of the population deals with more stress in some cases than others. So stress is definitely something that is part of the equation, but they're not really sure.
Now, that figure you just give us, is that for the United States or is that worldwide?
Well, I can tell you with certainty that that's the number in the United States. I can't speak with complete accuracy as it is in the entire world. But in the United States, that's the number.
So, white women in their 40s,
their 40s
is more prevalent than everyone else.
Absolutely. Yep.
What about children? Does it strike children?
It does strike children. For many years, doctors didn't think that children could get MS, but we have found that kids younger and younger are getting multiple sclerosis, and one of the reasons they're finding it is that the way in order to determine that you have, the way to determine that you have MS, those things have gotten much better. MRIs have gotten clearer, and it's getting easier and easier to find that people have it. And kids, before, they thought they had other diseases, and it was MS. So, yeah, we found that even kids as young as 10 years old, 11 years old, can get multiple sclerosis.
Is it, you mentioned yoga and being active. And this is probably a crazy question, but if you stay active, can you fight this thing off or back?
I think you can. I mean, in my experience, we have a yoga program in Michigan. Yoga Moves MS, which is one of our programs, and this woman has been doing yoga for countless years, and she focuses solely on people that have MS. And she has seen that people's symptoms have actually disappeared with yoga. Now, mind you, these are people that have, pretty mild symptoms. They're not in a wheelchair. They're not bedbound, obviously, but people that have started to get symptoms have actually kind of staved them off by using yoga. So I think that exercise with any disease that is like this is helpful, and most definitely with the disease that makes you stiff, you get spasticity, you get pain in your joints, and if you have a daily routine of yoga or swimming or something that keeps your muscles lubricated, then you're definitely going to do better.
Now this affects the nervous system, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then, of course, the nervous system runs everywhere.
Right.
And that affects everything.
Correct.
What is it, like insulation around the nerves? Is that the thing that gets eaten away?
I guess you could call it the insulation. It's the coating of the coating on the nerve. So I guess it would be like insulation, sure.
So once those nerves are exposed, is it painful, or can it be painful?
Absolutely. It's definitely painful. Definitely. you could talk to people with MS, one of the things that they say is that they're always in pain. Whether it's a muscle pain or a nerve pain or a tingling, there's a consistent pain that goes with this.
Mm. And it'll affect your eyes. It'll affect everything in your body.
It can affect everything. It can affect your breathing. It can affect it can affect everything from head to toe.
Yeah, wherever the nerves go, that's
Sure.
I guess that's what it can affect.
Absolutely.
Nerves go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, one of the things that people don't realize is that it also can affect your cognitive facility. So people, you'll talk to them, and then 5 minutes later they'll ask you the same question again. They don't remember that they had the conversation with you, or they're, they need speech therapy because they can't form the words or the letters anymore. So it really can affect every single aspect of your life.
What about caregivers, such as a wife or a husband or someone in the family?
Well, that's one of the things that we actually focus quite a bit on. It's very taxing on the caregiver because it becomes a 24-hour a day, 30, 40 years. So it's definitely taxing on the caregiver. So what we try to do is we try to provide programs for the person that has MS and for their caregiver and for their family as a whole. A lot of these people, they have children that are affected. Their mom or their dad is not part of their lives, so their lives are affected. One of the programs that we have is respite care. So if you have someone that's taking care of you, if it's your husband or your wife, and you need to go to the grocery store and you don't have anyone to take care of that person with MS, we'll provide a caregiver to come to the home X amount of hours so that that person can do other things. And they don't have to worry about, the person that has MS being left alone. We also have support groups. We have 156 support groups around the country that are for people that have MS and for their caregivers. And they are everything from, people getting around and talking, and people that bowl, or people that do yoga. And it's all kind of geared towards the family as a whole.
When someone first gets these symptoms, I guess it's like everything else. It probably takes a while to really zero in and have it diagnosed correctly.
Yes, that's one of the biggest problems.
And so while they're doing that, for instance, I always wondered about people that gets cancer. Now, my wife had cancer this year, so we went on that ride.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
Oh, yes, she's fine now. But, they diagnose it. Then it takes a while to get the report back. Mm-hmm. And then they do something else, and it takes a little while. And I think the whole time, and I guess everyone feels this way at one time, it takes so long in between things that whatever that disease is, in the meantime, it's just chugging along, doing its own thing.
That's right. That's true.
And so, is there any idea to know the average time that it takes for someone to be diagnosed correctly? I know that's a far-out question.
I think that the advantage of diseases like cancer, like MS, things that have a lot of research behind them, is that people are more acute to the symptoms, and they know what kinds of tests that they need to run. As in 20 years ago, nobody knew what to do to find out if you had MS, and it was misdiagnosed all the time. So the symptoms of MS are very, very varied, but some that are always the same are tingling or numbness or, a kind of an abrupt loss of sight, and then you get your sight back. And there are a lot of very, very good MS physicians all over the country. And the MRI, which actually can show that you have MS, those tests have gotten much better. So if you have certain symptoms and you go to a doctor and you ask for an MRI, chances are that they're going to be looking for this neurological disease, whether it's MS or or something like it. So it may take some time, but people are definitely more aware. Doctors are much more aware of the symptoms that come with MS and how to diagnose them.
Now, I have one of your websites up, msfocus.org.
Yes.
And there seems like there is a whole lot of information on there.
Yes, so we have a lot of information. We have all kinds of studies, all kinds of research studies on drugs, and we have educational programs. We have march awareness programs. We have social workers. I mean, that site has a lot of information on it.
I don't want to wait until we're all done with our little conversation tonight before I ask you. So I'm going to ask you now, so that people's listening. Get a piece of paper, get a pen, and listen. What can we do to get involved to help?
Well, there are a lot of different things you can do. Obviously, the bottom line to serving people with MS is money. Mm-hmm. So one of the most amazing things about the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation is that we don't need a lot of money to help people. So when you make a donation, whether it's $100 or $200 or $50 or whatever it is, that money goes to our programs, and $300 or $400 can help a person for 2 or 3 days that needs respite care. So definitely the donations go a very, very long way. Another thing you can do is talk about the MSF or the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in your community to people that may need our services. And a lot of times we get people that will call us and will want to do fundraisers for us on our behalf, but they're called third-party events. So let's say you're an attorney and you have 100 lawyers in your office and you want to do a Jean Friday where everybody pays $5 to wear jeans for the day and the law firm matches it. And that money comes back to us. We have companies all across the country that will do that for us on a yearly basis. So that's another way that you could do it. You could adopt a program, whether it's yoga or home care, respite care, whatever it is. We will put your donation into that pot of money and use it solely for that pot of money, solely for that program. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can go on the website, msfocus.org, and you can email me directly, or you can email the info at msfocus.org, and all of those requests pass through me, and I dole them out to everybody in the foundation, and it goes to the right person to get the right thing done.
How about schools or grades in school? Like a 4th grade or a 10th grade or a whole school. Do they ever get involved?
Yes, we have schools. A lot of the schools have service groups that have certain diseases that they will raise money for. A lot of the times, what we will do is we'll go to, the service organizations like DECA or the Honor Society or the band or the football team, and we will ask them to adopt the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. Most of the time, we will do this in March, which is MS Awareness and Education Month. But in addition to the local schools or the grade, on the grade level, we also have a couple of universities that have MS as their focus, and they will raise money for us as well. So every dollar helps, so it's not like we're going to turn anyone's fundraiser away. It's my job to help people make these fundraisers successful, and we hope to grow them, and we hope to have everybody in the country doing something, no matter how small or large, for MSF, hopefully in the next few years.
So you guys, if I read things correctly, and of course, you know me, I can get them mixed up, but you have one main, let's call it a headquarters.
Right.
And that's the one in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But there's no other offices across the nation?
No. There are no other offices. We have only this one office in Fort Lauderdale, and we run all of our programs from this office in Fort Lauderdale, which is why we can do so much with so little money, because we have no overhead. So instead of paying different people in different parts of the country different salaries, everything is done out of the one office in Fort Lauderdale.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is there? Well, if you don't have no offices, for instance, here in Delaware, is there an organization or a group of people somewhere that or no? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, well, actually, there is. We have probably 5 or 6 support groups in that area. So the support groups kind of act as our field offices, and we also have ambassadors, which are all over the country. We have about 100 ambassadors. People, all of them have multiple sclerosis, and they're all in all different cities. And their job is to go out and look for people for us to help and to do fundraisers, to go to the chambers of commerce. So if you live in Delaware and you want to know what there is in your area, whether it's a support group or an ambassador or whatever it is, then you can go on our website. And in the website, you'll find a map, and you click on your state, and it'll give you every single support group in your area. Or you can call us directly, and we can match you up with somebody.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you're responsible for the United States headquarters. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Now we have. This is probably way off the ball too, but we have listeners in the Philippines and the UK and down under and Italy and so on and so forth across the nation. What if someone in another country would want to get involved?
Well, we actually have had people from all over the world that have contacted us for various different things. And, you know, with the Internet, there are no boundaries. So if you need help or you want to do something and you go on our website, you can email us and we will translate your request and we will get back to you. So there's really no reason why somebody in any part of the country that needs help or information or wants to do something can't contact us directly.
The marvels of modern technology, huh?
I know, right? It's a flat world.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
The website is msfocus.org, so do yourself a favor and go there. What about research? How far along are they going with research?
I really can't talk very intelligently about that. I can tell you that there are a lot of new medications that are out there that are very good. They don't have the side effects that they used to have. They've made some huge progress in determining the factors that cause multiple sclerosis. And I think that the money that is being put to work for research is amazing. We try to work with local doctors in every area with trials, but honestly, I can't really give you a rundown of what's out there. It's not really what I focus on. I feel kind of dumb not being able to answer you, but I can tell you that there's a lot of very, very good research out there, a lot of people making huge headway, and that the money for research is being spent very well.
It would be, I don't even know if there's a word for it, if someone would find a cure for for these nasty diseases that strike people down.
It would be. And, the problem, one of the things about multiple sclerosis is that people don't understand it. It's not something that people talk about a lot. It's not out there as much as other things are. And people don't understand what a devastating illness it really is. You can have it for 30 or 40 years. People, your insurance at some point doesn't cover it anymore. The drugs are extremely expensive. It could take someone who has a very active, vital life and really disable them to the point where they're bound to their bed or a wheelchair, and there's no rhyme or reason. So even though the drugs are better and the research is headed in the right direction, people need help now, and that's what we focus on. We have people every day that can't pay their electric bill, or they need a wheelchair, or they need a ramp in their house, and that's what their worry is. So that's why we focus on programs and services, and we try to help as many people as we can.
You mentioned that people don't talk about it. Excuse me, very much. Is there any particular reason why?
You know, this is going to sound kind of cynical, but I think that some diseases are sexier than others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the PR surrounding certain organizations and certain diseases is very good. There's a lot of money out there for a lot of different diseases, and they get a lot of attention, and they get a lot of push, and they get a lot of, kind of celebrity backing. And those are the things that are out there that really get attention. We don't have a budget. The Multiple Sclerosis Society, we don't have a budget for advertising. We don't have a budget for, glamorous PR campaigns. So we do what we can with what we have, and we spend the money on services. Now, being a development director for the foundation, I can't tell you that I wouldn't be ecstatic if someone gave me $1 million to do an ad campaign. I think that people would be amazed at what MS can do to someone and what an organization as small as ours is actually doing to help. But I think it comes down to dollars, and I think that there are a lot of diseases that get a lot of attention because of the money that's backing them, and MS isn't one of those. Although there are some organizations that are larger than others that do, and there are some people out there that are doing amazing, like Nancy Davis in Los Angeles. She has a huge fundraiser every year to raise money for research, and she has a lot of celebrities, and she has put her money where her mouth is, so to speak, and she has taken her money and her celebrities, and she's backed MS, and she's doing an amazing job. So I just think it's a matter of talking about it more and bringing awareness to it more, and eventually people will realize that this is a crippling, terrible disease, and it needs everyone's attention.
So it's actually possible that you could know someone, they have MS, but you don't know it.
Oh, every day I meet people, and then people will say to me, "Oh, by the way, I have MS." As a matter of fact, the job that I have right now, one of my friends found it for me, and she has MS, and I have known her 15 years. And until I got this job, I never knew she had it. She never said a word to me about it.
Mm.
So it's definitely. I will promise you that tomorrow, if you go out and talk to 3 people, one of them will have MS.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking before we went on the air tonight, before you called, I know it's the holiday season, and if we could just get ourselves together,
Mm-hmm.
mentally and spiritually, that not only during the holidays, but every day of the year. But I was sitting thinking of how fast we move, and our listeners hear me say this so often, but we're moving faster than speeding bullets nowadays. And unless something really strikes home, we have a tendency to just keep on going and never finding out or never stopping long enough to even think about those that are less fortunate than us.
I mean, I think that's true, but I think that's I think that people give to the causes that move them, and I don't honestly think that there's anything wrong with that. Mm-hmm. I think that every organization, every nonprofit that is raising money or doing research or fundraising deserves attention. It's the hard part of being in my position when you go out and you fundraise and you go to an organization or a company that's raising money, for abused children or cancer research or pet abuse, and those are good causes. And it's kind of hard to have that argument in my head. I always think, what makes me stand out? What can I do to compel these people to give to my organization? But the bottom line is that there are a lot of people out there that need help, and and you need to pick a cause or two causes, and you need to do something, because I don't think you can go through your life and ignore those people around you that need something, whether it's multiple sclerosis or, like I said, cancer or pets or whatever it is. I think it's important to humanity to pick a cause.
Yeah, and I think when you were saying about you go to an organization, they might be supporting someone else or something else.
Mm-hmm.
If we could just stop long enough, or if we could become, as you say, ambassadors, or just messengers, and people would become aware, even if it's one by one.
Yeah.
If they could become aware of, you don't got to look too far nowadays, and there's somebody hurting with something.
That's so true.
If we just take the blinders off,
mm-hmm.
and let the scales fall from our eyes, maybe this whole human thing could become much more compassionate.
I agree with you.
I keep hoping for that.
mm-hmm. I agree with you, and I think that's the beauty of being in a nonprofit world and being the development director or the program director, is that everybody, people are competition, obviously. There's only so many organizations and so much money and so many events that you can have, but we are all fighting for a cause. And everybody you talk to, you meet, is so passionate about something, and it's really a privilege to do it. It's a privilege to be part of an organization that strives to do something good for people every day. And we have people that work extremely long hours. We have a call center that is on our premises that makes outbound phone calls, and they bring in $25, $35, $45 at a time, but they raise $300,000 a month for the foundation, and these people are making minimum wage, and some of them have been there for 10 years, 12 years, and it's a very difficult job, but we kind of all have our eye on the same prize, and we all work towards the same goal, and it's the beauty of being in a nonprofit.
That's passion.
Yeah.
That is heartbeat. I call it heartbeat passion.
That's right.
Yeah. Heartbeat passion. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
And again, our listeners hear me say this all the time. I've always said for years and years, if I can hear someone's heartbeat, I know I've met someone that's genuine.
Right.
There's no plastic. There's no synthetics. If I can hear a heartbeat, I know it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to hear more heartbeats in this old cruel world of ours. I'm on this other website. What is it? fearlessms.org.
Yes, that is a crazy story. We Angela Capetta, who is the photographer, and Amy Frere, who is the person that has put that campaign together. They're in New York City. Angela's niece has multiple sclerosis. She's 21, 22. She's a fashion model, a runway model, and she was diagnosed with MS about a year ago. And Angela wanted to kind of document her niece before she lost use of her legs. So she has put this campaign together, fearlessms.org, in honor of her niece and in benefit of the foundation. And she has had people donate their time for now going on about a year and a half. So what she's done is she's taken runway models like Shannon Rustbalt, who is a huge model in New York City. She's donated her time. Angela has donated her time. We have had ads appear in Shape magazine, in Men's Health, in Elle, in the New Yorker, and all of the ad space has been donated by these magazines. So fearlessms.org is part of the foundation, and it's geared toward kind of a younger clientele, if you will. And what we're doing is you can go on there, and girls or women can register when they're getting married, and in lieu of a gift, you can give a gift to fearlessms.org, and it will come back to the foundation. We also are adding a catalog to that website where if you wanted to give someone a wheelchair but you couldn't pay for the whole wheelchair, you could buy the tire, for example, for $50. And we'll credit everybody, and eventually we will give this wheelchair to a person that has MS because these people, this group of people, gave enough money to give that. So that was such a fluke, and it has been an amazing PR campaign for the foundation. And there have been probably dozens and dozens of people that have donated their time and money and resources to that campaign.
Now, this young lady that's on the website, is that the lady's niece that you were saying about?
I think that the person you're referring to on the website is actually Shannon Rustbolt, who's one of the models.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But there's an open letter there, and it describes all about what multiple sclerosis is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I've been scrolling up and down on this thing. It's pretty thorough too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Singing Hallelujah song by Mara Levi. Sponsors.
Right.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Fearless MS. That's fearlessms.org.
Right.
Another place that you can go to.
Right.
What is there any what's the word here? Do y'all hold any conventions or anything like that?
We don't actually run any conventions. We attend a lot of the different conventions, but we don't have any. We do a lot of the health shows. We do the MS Consortium every year. We actually run, I guess it's kind of a convention, if you will, but we have once a year a cruise. It's called a cruise, MS Cruise for a Cause. And it's about 300 to 400 people, all that have multiple sclerosis, that will go on a cruise that is run by the foundation. And we have doctors and nutritionists and therapists, and it allows people that have MS to be on a ship for a week and with their caregivers and learn a little bit about MS and meet other people that have MS. So that's probably as close as we get to an actual Multiple Sclerosis Foundation convention.
I imagine this disease is like all the other ones. When it arrives, or when you're struck down with it,
Mm-hmm.
you feel like the loneliest person in the entire world.
Yeah, you do.
And so there's got to be a strong support system there for you.
There is. There has to be a strong support system. One of the things that we've done is we have 3 or 4 people that are in our office that are peer counselors. They all have multiple sclerosis. One of them, Judy, has been with us, I think it's going on 20 years. She was diagnosed in her 30s. She's in her 70s now. And they take phone calls from people that have MS, and they talk to them. And they just listen, and they help them kind of come to grips with this diagnosis, and they help them thread through all of the different things that they have to get done. They help them find support groups in their area or doctors, and that cannot be understated, the importance of having someone there to lean on, to help you, to be there for you. That is huge, 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 huge.
When the doctor diagnoses someone with MS,
Mm-hmm.
I can just imagine. I know what it felt like when the doctor looked at us across from his desk and told us about the cancer.
Right.
I can't describe it other than it's almost like an out of body experience. You just go numb.
Yeah.
I imagine that when someone's diagnosed with MS, it's basically the same reaction.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a mysterious disease, Most people don't know what it is or what the symptoms are. They think, sometimes people feel like they're going to be in a wheelchair the next day. So it's definitely, it's very, very scary. It's very scary. So we try to kind of help people through that. explain to them that, everybody's symptoms are different, and you may never have a symptom for 30 years, and, maintaining a positive outlook, as I'm sure you know, with your wife's diagnosis is really half the battle.
Mm-hmm.
If you give up, you're done. And if you have a positive outlook and you look forward and you do things to help yourself, then you have a productive life regardless of having MS. You're not MS, you happen to have MS, but that doesn't define you.
Is there cases where they diagnose you with MS and then it moves quickly?
Absolutely. There are a lot of cases where things occur very rapidly. There are actually certain populations, African Americans for one, where the disease, they don't know why, progresses much more quickly than in white people that have MS. And the drugs don't affect them in the same way. They don't have the same reactions to the same drugs. Nobody knows why that's true, and the disease progresses much more quickly, for sure. Sometimes it's the craziest thing is that the disease progresses very quickly simply because of culture. In a lot of cultures, people don't like doctors. They don't like Eastern medicine. A lot of times people will. They don't want to reach out for help, so they don't want to go. A lot of the times, one of the things that we've talked about at a lot of different conventions that we've been to and a lot of support groups is African American men, for example, they tend not to ask for help or go to therapy or want to test it if they feel poorly. So sometimes the disease has progressed because you've ignored it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So in those cases, I guess that is something that could have been helped, but in a lot of cases, the disease progresses much more quickly.
Us men, regardless of whether we're red, yellow, black, or white.
But, that might be true.
Yeah, we have hard heads.
Yeah.
Not much in it. So I think that says a lot for us. But as I get older, and it's a shame you have to get in your 60s before you learn something or wake up. But as I get older, I now begin to understand that what is a little Grandma used to say, an ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure.
Right.
If we just get it through our thick heads,
mm-hmm.
that it's not unmanly to be tested for things. Right. That might take you out of here. Right. So hopefully the men, I think we're making progress somewhere. Hopefully the men will become man up to it and we do what we have to do.
Yeah, it's like anything else. If you know what you have, you can do something about it. If you don't know, then you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, as they say.
I just find it fascinating, and I hate to go backwards, but I just find it fascinating that maybe that's not the right word, that you can actually know people but never realize or know that they have MS.
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing, and I think that speaks to people's attitudes, in that they are not defined by what they have, that they don't feel that they have to bring it up. I think that's one of the things, and on the other side of that, people don't want to talk about it because they don't want people to feel sorry for them. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want you to, have a different opinion of them. There's so many things. It's hard to know why people do what they do. But I think that I found it to be amazing how many people I knew that had MS and how many people I meet on a daily basis. And before I started with the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, I didn't know anybody. And 3 years later, there are a lot of people that I know that have it.
I was sitting here trying to think. I don't think, but like you said, I probably come in contact with them all the time. But I don't outwardly know anyone with MS.
I'll give you a week before someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, by the way, I heard your show and you didn't know it, but I have MS." A week at the most.
A week at the most.
Yeah.
That just I don't know what it does to me. It just
Yeah.
Yeah, makes me cross-eyed and can't talk right. It's just, man, that just floors me.
Yeah.
You know, and and I'll offer this as a suggestion to you, and you can take it back to whomever, uh, and do with whatever. And we talked about it before we went on the air. Uh, I know you have no budget for advertising, so on and so forth, but uh, if you ever get or someone approaches you, or you can approach someone to put together an advertisement, maybe that's not the right word, a public service announcement. How's that? Uh, I would be glad. In fact, I would be happy to run it on this program. We're on Monday through Friday, an hour and a half. I would be happy to run that public service announcement through our radio network.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you, and I will definitely keep that in mind.
And I will. This is like a little brotherhood we've got within the broadcasting industry. I've got a lot of friends, and I'll start pounding out some emails. Excuse me, and see if anyone else is interested in grabbing a hold of one of the handles of the wheelbarrow. We'll push
Great.
We'll push it along.
Thank you. I agree. Thank you very much.
Well, wow. Did we miss anything?
Well, I'm not sure that we did. If I can just throw out there that we have some events throughout the year. If you are in the South Florida area, if you care to become involved with us, we have a fashion show at the Ritz-Carlton on the 13th of December that is actually being put together by Shannon Rustbalt, which is one of the models that's part of the Fearless MS campaign. She has a company called Fashion's Fight that actually does fashion shows to raise money specifically for MS. She has a lot of MS in her family. So if you're in South Florida and would like to come on our website. We also have an event in March at the Ritz-Carlton, the full moon party, which is whenever the full moon is in March. I want to say the 13th or the 14th of March on the rooftop. It's a really great time. It's free, and then we will be taking donations. And anyone that is a golfer out there will be doing a golf tournament at Parkland Golf and Country Club in Parkland in October 2013, which we also did this year. So if you are interested in participating in any of our events, just let me know.
How about the cruise? Can other people go on the cruise?
Absolutely. The cruise just happened about 2 weeks ago. So the cruise leaves out of the port of Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, and it rotates between the Caribbean and Alaska. So this year's was the Caribbean. Next year will be Alaska. So it will be next year in October. And that is open for people that have MS or don't have MS, or for people out there that have companies that would benefit from being on a cruise with people with MS that would like to participate in the educational programs. So that we plan out. And the other thing that we do is we have a nurse cruise for continuing education credits that happened a few weeks ago as well for nurses, MS nurses that need continuing education credits. And you can get that information on our website as well, msfocus.org. And or you can call me directly, or Alan Siegeloff, who is one of our co-executive directors. Wow.
Can you give us those websites again?
Sure. It's www.msfocus.org. That's the main Multiple Sclerosis Foundation website. Or you can send an email to info@msfocus.org. And you can always go to the Fearless MS website. You click anywhere on that site, and it will direct you to us. We also have a Facebook page, MS Focus, Multiple Sclerosis Foundation nonprofit page, and we're also on Twitter.
You know, I never, of course, there's a lot of things I don't know, but I never realized that y'all didn't have what do they call field offices or
right.
You know, I never realized. I thought, like almost any organization has little offices here and there across the country. Uh,
Hmm.
I think that's pretty neat. I really do. You got one main headquarters, and everything comes in and goes out from there. I
It
think.
does, and it makes things fairly simple. When you call the foundation and you need something, we're all in the same building. So all the support group people, all of the social workers, the caseworkers, the peer counselors, the directors, everybody is in the same building, the call center. If you want to do something to help, and it's a different something that we've ever done, the decision makers are all there. So it makes for a very speedy process of getting things done. And it also cuts down on our costs so that we can spend more money on programs as opposed to overhead and salaries and field offices and so on.
Wow, it's almost like the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
Keep.
Well, my boss, my executive, we have two executive directors, but my direct boss, Jules Cooperberg, who's a co-executive director, he would be very happy and proud to hear you say that. So it's his goal to keep it that way, so that when someone calls and they need an answer, we can answer their question with a live person and right away.
Oh, that's wonderful. Those live people.
Yes.
Them robots. I'll talk to them robots every now and then.
Yeah, we try to be as lively as possible.
It's amazing. Keep it simple, but
Mhm.
most effective.
Correct.
My hat is
Exactly.
tipped to you, and I do have my hat on. I
Thank you very much.
I tip my hat to you and to the whole organization.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Am I saying your first name right? Is it Natalie?
Natalie, right.
Natalie. See, I get brain cramps every now and then.
No, it's okay. Listen, it's the H that throws people off.
Yeah,
People have known me
yeah.
my whole life, and they still mispronounce my name, so don't worry about it.
I looked at it all day, off and on, and I thought Natalie. Then I thought, no,
Yes.
it's Nathalie. No,
Natalie.
yeah.
Just ignore the H. Just ignore
Okay,
it.
so it's Nathalie
right.
Sloan,
Yes.
what is it? The director of development or development director at the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, I thank you. I really do. It's been a privilege. I have learned tonight, and I
Thank
appreciate you
and, if
folks.
you have any questions, please let me know.
I'll do that. Thank you so much,
All
Natalie.
right, George, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there we have it, folks. It's just, wow, the work that goes on. There's hurt everywhere we look. But find you something, get involved in it. Make it a passion, or let the passion burn deep inside of you.
I need a little reaction, 'cause I don't be like I used to be. Looks like the main attraction
I'll be back right after this. How about some Coley Bryce and Jersey Blues, huh? All right, all you loons out on the dance floor. Come on. That's it. Our man Coley Bryce. He's not done. Now he is. Coley Bryce. We had him on the show here a week or so ago. Wasn't that long ago, was it? Friday? A week ago Friday? I don't know. Wasn't too long ago, but I'm telling you, Coley can rock the house down with his blues, and he can sing anything. He can sing anything. He's like Nelson Trout, who was with us, and he's the fellow that wrote the book Blood on the Ceiling. And then he wrote that song that he sings pertaining to that. I'm telling you, them guys can just flat out rock. Listen, we've got our feelers, our people, our whatever it is. We've got them out there, and we have made contact with. That's a wonderful part about doing this. You know, you get to meet so many different people, but we made contact with some more musicians, songwriters, so on and so forth, and we're going to do that. We're probably going to put together a whole week of nothing but singers, songwriters, artists. I mean, you name it. We'll rock this place to pieces for a whole week. Would you like that, huh? All you loons, you like that? Yeah. A little slow you are, but well, that's good. That's good. You can quit now. Isaac's got to get his part in there. Oh, my. Hey, our many thanks to Nathalie Sloan, the director of the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Blah, 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 blah. I learned so much tonight. But you know, the most fascinating part of this whole conversation with Natalie tonight was the fact that you can talk to someone or you can know someone that has multiple sclerosis but never know that they have it. My goodness gracious. The drugs are so expensive. My goodness. Do something for someone. Please do something for someone, not just during the holidays, but throughout the entire year. Find something that is burning down deep in your soul and go do it. Be it whatever. I mean, you don't have to look too far. You'll find someone that's out there hurting in one way, shape, or form. So don't be afraid to get involved. We need more people to get involved. And Natalie did such a fine job tonight in representing the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. I can see why she is where she is. So my many, many thanks to her. Tomorrow night, we have, let me hit my magic button here. Where am I at? That's the wrong button. That's been love. I'm telling you, I'm about as goofy as the day is long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all know I am. Let me hit the right button here. Okay. Tomorrow night. What's tomorrow night? The 28th. Jeff Rasley will be here. You're going to like it. You're going to really, really like it. And we'll throw something up there on the radio show page. I feel like Bugs Bunny tonight. Goodness gracious, Aunt Sally. Here's what I do want you to do. Excuse me. I want you to email me. Email me at GeorgeCE, that's GeorgeCE at Comcast.net. GeorgeCE at Comcast.net. Just sit down, drop me a few lines. Let me know where you're jotting a few lines from if you want. Ask me anything you want to ask me. I'll answer you. Tell me if you like the show, if you don't like the show, whatever. But email me at GeorgeCE at Comcast.net. I thank you for those that have been sending emails and communicating with us. Charlie thanks you. Harvey thanks you. Miss Ernestine thanks you. I'm telling you what, this gang here at the Funny Farm, they are to be commended because, for a long, long time, they were the only actors on this, I was going to say, on this planet. I guess we do come from another planet. But anyway, they were the only actors around here. But, when we started to go live and when we started to go all the time and we started to bring some guests on, they stepped to the side for a while and said, we understand, and we're working on some things with Miss Ernestine and Charlie and Harvey and Wilbur and Travis and the whole gang here. So you hang in there with us. We're working on a whole bunch of things. Where am I? GeorgeCE at Comcast.net. I don't know what I did, so we're just going to do whatever, and if I did it before, so be it. Blues. Oh my. Sing it to me now.
I'm gonna fly far away from this pain and heartache I feel each day. 'Cause I know someday, baby, you won't matter anymore. You change your mind, you change your plans, you took my love and then you ran. Well, I know someday, baby, you won't matter anymore. I got my faith carry me out from this darkness where I can't see. Can't believe this is the end. You say that you want to be just friends down in blue, but that's okay. There'll be another shining day. I know someday, baby, you won't matter anymore. Where I can't see. I can't believe this is the end. You say that you want to be just friends. I'm down in blue. That's okay. There'll be another shining day. I know someday, baby, you won't matter anymore.
You talk about slow. Oh, man, I tell you, sometimes this gang around here just don't get it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it took you long. It took you long enough to get it. I mean, wow. Here's what happened. You know, we're all a bunch of loons here at the Funny Farm, and excuse me, and excuse me. Oh my goodness gracious, Aunt Sally. Anyhow, we're all a bunch of loons here at the Funny Farm, And they were out on the dance floor, and then of course the crowd on the outside that listens and watches by the way of monitor. They were out there dancing on the hoods of their trunks and cars, and had their camels parked, and their rickshaws, and their rollerblades, and their bicycles, and any means of transportation to get them here. Everyone was, and right at the end of the song, it's like something came down over them because they all froze. I mean, they just, whatever position they was in when that song was over, they just froze, and then all of a sudden, whatever it was that fell down upon them, it lifted, and then they started cheering. Now remember, this is the funny farm. This radio show is like our blog. It's a place where fantasy and reality are intertwined, and we don't know the difference. I'm not so sure we care to know the difference. In fact, I'm not so sure that we would know the difference if we knew the difference. I'm getting that tickly feeling. I better shut up or I'll be sitting here cracking up over nothing. Of course, it's the funny farm. Hey, here's one from my old buddy, Rick Fowler and the Rick Fowler Band down there in Athens, Georgia. This one's for you, Rick. Thanks, buddy.
I got the tombstone eyes. I'm on the road to nowhere, baby. Driving blind. I got the pedal to the floor. I headed down that road. You know my heart is pounding, but my blood runs cold. Well, my mind is racing. I'm on the road to nowhere, babe. I'm driving blind. I'm on the road to nowhere, babe. I'm driving blind.
Feel it, don't you? Huh? I know you feel it. I feel it. Of course, I'm always feeling it. Oh, that is so nice.
tried to make you proud, but you laughed at me, baby. You know you laughed out loud. I don't know where I'm headed, but it don't feel right. I'm on the road to nowhere, babe. I'm driving blind. I'm on the road to nowhere, babe. I'm driving blind. Yes, I'm on the road to nowhere, babe. I'm driving blind. Yeah, I'm on the road to nowhere, babe.
Rick Fowler and the Rick Fowler Band. My friend Rick Fowler from down there in Athens, Georgia. My goodness gracious. Go get his music, Rick Fowler and the Rick Fowler Band. I want to give a big shout out to a friend of mine, Marie Dubuque. She was on the show, oh my goodness, it must be 5 or 6 months ago. But what Marie does, and she has you know, the little thingies, the channel on YouTube. But what Marie does is she is a what's the word for it? You know, Emily Post did the etiquette stuff. But anyhow, Marie does. I'll think of it tonight, tomorrow, sometime. It'll be too late. But anyhow, her YouTube presentation tonight is how do you tell someone it's time to leave your house after a holiday? You know, now I'm telling you a true story now. I'm not exaggerating. When I was a kid, we had some people come, and they would come every Sunday, and I mean they'd just stay. Which was good, you know what I'm saying? Which was good, but I mean they'd stay, and of course we went to church every Sunday night, so you know we'd get ready to go to church and we'd just leave, and you know we walked out through the schoolyard and the church was on the other side of the school, so we didn't go far. But Dad used to say, "Lock the door on your way out." And we'd go. Have you ever known that people like that? But anyhow, Marie says, how do you tell people? So go to YouTube and type in there Marie Dubuque. Let me spell it for you. Marie Dubuque. Lots of U's. Dubuque. Dubuque. Type that in at YouTube, and you'll get all of her things. And I'm telling you what, this lady is just downright, I mean, she's got it together, and she'll tell you that. But I read that, and I thought, someone told me one time that there's two things that stink after 3 days. That's fish and company. Think about that while we play some more Rick Fowler and the Rick Fowler Band.
I got to crawl right out of this bed, though I don't feel much like trying. And the boss man don't even know my name, but he wants me to break my back so he can buy yet another plane and some high-dollar Cadillac. This is life. and say I watched your world come crashing down. And to the right, it's just God and money. And to the left, it's injustice and race. But for some of us here, we're just trying to live in this godforsaken place. Yeah, this life is killing me. It's breaking me down, down, down. Yeah, can't you see? Can't you see?
Rick Fowler and the Rick Fowler Band. Woo-wee! Who'll be your daddy? Tell me. Wait for it. Let's stop it. Oh, yeah, I think, yeah. Hey, listen, if, I think it was back in September we had Rick Fowler on the show. In fact, we ran a 3-hour show that night. I think first we talked, chatted, had conversation, and then I think the other hour and a half or the other hour or so, we played Rick Fowler and Rick Fowler's band music. So you can go back to the archives and you can find it was back in September. I'm pretty sure it was back in September. Go back there and listen to him and his band. I mean, they could just flat out get down and play some good music, and I appreciate them so very, very much. Hopefully we'll have them back someday soon. And I wish you the very best, Mr. Fowler, you and all your guys in the band. I wish you all the very best down there in Athens, Georgia. Well, you know, we're going to get out of here in a different kind of way tonight. That's been love. He's a little strange. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I have to thank our people down at musicalley.com because they supply a lot of our music that we play here Monday through Friday. And I'm telling you, there are some great artists. Go to musicalley.com. Just go there. And find out for yourself. There's a lot of artists that puts their music down there, and then musicalley.com lets us bring it up here and put it on the show. And onward and upward and tally-ho and tip your hat and all those good things, tut-tut and all that stuff. But anyhow, thank you to our friends at musicalley.com. Again, I want to thank Nathalie Sloan, the director at the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for being with us tonight. It was not only informative, it was thought-provoking, and I enjoyed her taking the time to be with us. And I trust and I pray that each and every one of us will find some way of getting involved with something, be it the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation or this, that, those, and these. Don't take long. Just look around. You're going to find someone that is full of hurt. And so let's open our hearts. Let's show other human beings that we're still human on this earth. Would you do that? I'd sure appreciate it. And I think we could make a difference. It's never over until it's over. That's what Yogi said. So, Nathalie, thank you very, very much for taking the time to be with us tonight. Email me, georgece@comcast.net. georgece@comcast.net. Okay, you got that? All right. We're going to get out of here in a different kind of way. Instead of playing our regular jump on the back of the tail of the puppy and riding out with our ordinary song that we leave here with, we're going to do something a little bit different. We'll hit you from every angle imaginable. I mean, we'll play jazz, and we'll play rock blues, and we'll play blues, and we'll play pop and alternate pop, and we'll play garage stuff. We'll play everything and anything, including this, by a lady whose name is Jean Shy. This lady can sing. She's been around quite a while. She has toured Europe, this country, and she can sing it all. And I come across this, or Charlie actually came across, because he's the guy who goes down there and digs. He dug this out, and several of her other songs. But we're going to leave with this tonight. And I want you to know that there's a whole lot of love coming to you from the Funny Farm. And no matter what you're going through, we say it every night, but we mean it. No matter what you're going through, we're here. So email me at georgece@comcast.net. georgece@comcast.net. If you're going through a deep, deep valley, or you're going through a raging storm, remember, you're not alone. There's somebody that'll walk beside you. So, until tomorrow night, same time, same station, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on the Spreaker Network. Tune in for another George Espinlaub show, where you just never quite know what's going to happen. If it's nighttime where you're at, have a good night. If it's already tomorrow, have a good day. But regardless, until then, we're going out of here with this song. This is George Espinlaub saying good night, and God bless you. This lady can sing.
On the heat, far away, stood an old rugged cross, an ember of suffering and shame. How I love that old cross with a deep rest and bed. A world of lost sinner was slain, and I'll cherish a wonder and beauty I see. It was on that old cross where Jesus bled and died to pardon and save